Hello, Chef Karen here. Today I'm going to teach you how to make marinara sauce. This is a foolproof recipe that I brought back from the hills of Tuscany when I worked there for a few years as a chef at a little beautiful mountain town called Cortona. And this is a recipe that I brought back with me, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you today. First of all, you want to take your pot and get it heated, about half flame. Not all the way hot, just about 2/3 of the way, medium high. And so get your pot nice and hot, and we're gonna start out with garlic. Now there's a couple different things you could do with garlic, of course. Everybody knows the bulb of garlic. Not too many people know what to do with it. So you can either use it this way and peel it yourself. You can buy peeled garlic, which sometimes is good to have in the refrigerator. And if you don't have a food processor, or you don't want to chop it, you can use a little hand grater and just grate it right into your pan. I have garlic that's already chopped. I'm going to go ahead and put in a nice big heaping spoonful of it. Give it a little more, I like garlic. And at this point, you want to take your extra virgin olive oil and just drizzle the pan with it. About a tablespoon, maybe two, depending how big of the pot is. Today we're going to use 2 28 ounces of tomatoes, and we'll put those in a minute. You want to get your garlic mixed in with your oil, and be very careful. Extra virgin olive oil has a very, very low flash point, which means unlike some of the other oils, it can't get real hot, otherwise it burns. So you want to let those start coming to a simmer. While that garlic is simmering, you're going to want to add your salt and pepper. I like to use grinder, but you can use any kind of pepper, any kind of salt. So that's just a little sea salt. Here's some fresh black pepper. I'm just going to grind a little bit in there. And then if you like a little kick in your sauce, at this point you could add a little crushed red peppers. I like to heat it up a little bit, so just put a couple shakes in there, and that'll mix with your salt, pepper, garlic. It's a good idea to have everything ready. Have everything laid out. We call that mise en place, which means have everything in place. I'm using whole peeled tomatoes, but you can use chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, tomato sauce, whatever you have in the house. And you just want to add that to the cooking garlic, both cans. Doesn't that smell good? All right. And then you just want to give that a stir. And you're going to let that simmer for about a half an hour. So now your sauce is bubbling nicely. The tomatoes have broken down. You want to cook them long enough to make sure that acid gets out of the tomatoes, because that gives it a bitter aftertaste. So it's nice and simmered now. So either you could, if you use chopped tomatoes to begin with, you're fine, or tomato sauce, same thing. But because I'm using the whole tomatoes, you just want to go in real quickly with an immersion blender, and you just want to break up those tomatoes. So now we've got the tomatoes broken up real nicely. It's nice and smooth. You have the salt, pepper, and chili peppers. Now we're going to add the basil. I have some fresh basil that's already chiffonade. It's sliced in real thin strips. You can find basil in the produce section of your grocery store. Sometimes they even have plants, which is nice to keep on your counter. It makes your kitchen smell Italian, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't have fresh basil, you can use dried. Make sure and put a good tablespoon or so in there, because dried herbs aren't quite as pungent as fresh. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that basil and put that in there, and we're just going to fold that in and let it simmer for another 5 or 10 minutes. And that is Chef Karen's marinara sauce. It's easy. Don't be afraid of scrambled eggs. First of all, you want to break your egg on the side of the bowl very gently. Couple taps. Open it up. Make sure there's no shell in there.